Just a little reminder that I have quite a few math videos on this channel dealing with basic topics in mathematics through college algebra, trig, calculus, and so on, statistics. I also have some in my other channel, the Dr. T Math and More. Have some quite a few again videos on mathematics, technology, miscellaneous, for example, power twos and so on. So I'll put a link on that in the description in case you're interested. This particular video is going to be hopefully short, a little preview of what I'm thinking of doing in the next few weeks or so. If there's an interest, if not, I'll just continue with mathematics videos in general. And again, entertain any suggestions that might be posted from those of you that are watching. But the series of videos I'm considering right now, like I said, depends on interest, will focus or will be for the benefit of those of you that are elementary math teachers or plan to be elementary math teachers, in particular those that will be teaching some form of mathematics. Now, for the most part, the math that children get exposed to is at the elementary level. So the foundation that is laid there is going to affect what they think of mathematics going forward. So it's very important that they get started on the right foot. So it's very important to them that they get an explanation on certain topics. Now, in some cases, you have to decide how deep to go in the explanation. For example, at the college level, when I'm teaching the basic college algebra course, we deal with say the quadratic formula, and we say, okay, if you have an equation in the form ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0, you can solve that equation using factoring methods. You can use the method of completing the square, or you can use the quadratic formula. And some students don't question it. They just go ahead and follow the procedures you give and solve some of the problems. But there's a few that want an explanation. For example, the quadratic formula, which is right here, which can be used to solve any quadratic that's in this particular format. Just plug in the value. A is the coefficient of the squared term, B is the coefficient of the x term, and C is the constant. Plug it into this formula, simplify, and you get your solutions. It could be two solutions, it could be one solution, it could be complex solutions or imaginary solutions. But some students want an explanation. Why does the quadratic formula work? Okay, and I go through that. If there's a question on that, at the same case in elementary school, some students are just going to listen to whatever you say and do it without question. There's going to be some that are going to demand an explanation. Now, for example, when I was in elementary school, way back, I had no problem. I understood pretty much the multiplication of fractions. Okay, multiplying the numerators, multiplying the denominators, and then simplifying. At one point, we got into division of fractions, and we had something like 2/3, say, divided by, say, 2/7. And the teacher would say, well, the rule is invert the divisor and multiply. Okay, so we could do that, 2/3. And then she would tell us, change your division to multiply. So I just put a little dot here for multiplication, and invert your divisor and multiply. And then she would say, now you can cancel this way or this way, or you can multiply and then reduce. Okay, so you can go 2 times 7 is 14. 3 times 2 is 6. And then you could reduce this. Divide by 2 here, you get 7. Divide by 2 here, you get 3. Or you can cancel this way. This 2 divides out with this 2. And we get 1 times 7 is 7. 3 times 1 is 3. We get 7 over thirds. Okay. This wasn't that clear to me. I remember that when I was in elementary school, that the division, I didn't understand why you just inverted and multiplied. It wasn't explained to me. Okay. So that's one of the things that you might have to go through. Why invert and multiply? Okay. That's something that I will discuss in some of the topics that I will go through in these videos. Or you have something like this. I had my grandkids over, now that they're off for summer school, or I should say they're off for the summer. So they come over at least a couple of times a week when their mom works. And I have them do it, me and my wife have them doing some math problems or watching videos or doing some other things. Okay, singing, playing guitar, whatever. I focus on the math for them, and we have them doing some math problems. So my one of my granddaughters, she's going to be in the 4th grade this coming fall, was working this particular problem, and I told her to explain it to me, how she did it. So she said, "Oh, it's easy. You can't subtract 5 from the 3, so I need to borrow 1 from this 4, and this makes this a 13." And as you said, 5 from 13 is 8, and this 4 became a 3, and then 1 from 3 is 28. And that was her answer. So I asked her if you borrow 1 from the 4 and bring it over, why doesn't this become a 4? Why does it become a 13? And she couldn't explain it to me. She just knew that that's the way it was done. Okay, and students will get the right answer, and eventually, if it's never explained to them, they'll figure it out. But it's just the idea of place value, right? Just the place value. This is the 1's place where the 3 is, and the 4 is in the 10's place. So you're bringing 110 over. When she said she was bringing 1 over, she's bringing over 110. So 10 and 3 is 13, and that's why it becomes a 13. But there's a lot of little things that go on in mathematics that you just tell the student, okay, this is the way you do it, and they just listen to you. The teacher can't make a mistake. At least that's what they think. Okay, but they're wrong, because teachers make mistakes. A lot of us make mistakes. Sometimes they're just we're in a rush or something, and we make a mistake. And if you're teaching a class where you have some bright students, they'll catch it and they'll point it out to you, and then you say, okay, sorry. I've done that in my classes where sometimes I just make a typo, and sometimes nobody sees it, but sometimes somebody will see it, they bring it up. Anyway, there's little things that you tell your students to do, and sometimes students will just follow what you tell them. And there's going to be some that want an explanation for them to really understand and have confidence in what they're doing. They want an explanation. So in some cases, you give your little lecture, and then you work individually with students, I assume, at the elementary level. I know I do that also in some of my classes. I'm retired now, but when I taught, I would give my lectures and then work some one-on-one with my students and my teaching assistant and so forth. Anyway, that's what I'm planning to do if there's an interest. So if you're interested in videos like this, where again, it's just going to be tips on teaching the mathematics. So it's not going to be on the psychology. I mean, you've taken enough. If you're teaching or have a certificate, you've taken the education courses and know what you need to do, what type of personality you should present to the students and so forth. That's not what I'm going to be talking about. I'm just going to be talking about mathematics, procedures in mathematics, and hopefully those will help you out if you are teaching now or plan to teach. But anyway, if you're interested in something like this, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to hearing from you. And again, as usual, anything else you want to post, go ahead and post any suggestions, and thanks for watching.